Coming to you live for the home stretch of Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie. And next week, the Person of the Year will be joining us in studio. Scott Bachner, talk about all the environmental issues, so you don't want to miss next week's show. Very well deserved award, Scott Bachner, the Person of the Year. But right now, let's give it up for my main man, Walter Cersei.
Mr. Walter.
All right, Walter, what you got cooking?
All right, thanks a lot, Howie. Well, we got cooking this time is January 15th at the Long Beach Public Library. You know, the Gospel Sons will be in concert once again. This is a yearly event that happens at the Long Beach Library, and the Gospel Sons will be there on January 15th celebrating Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Also on Monday, January 16th, which is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, there's a parade starting at Laurelton, marching all the way until the Martin Luther King Center on Riverside. I'm not sure who the Grand Marshal is this year, but I will get those details to you. Then after the parade, there's a program at the MLK Center in honor of Martin Luther King. So everybody come out, support Martin Luther King Day, come out, support the Gospel Sons, and we'll be more than happy to have you there. And come on out, support us, show us how you love us. Back to you, Howard.
All right, let's give it up for Walter Cersei. You know, he's been a very loyal contributor on our show, Mayor Minch, and I got a call that you never really want to get. About a week ago, Mayor called me up. I could tell that he was upset in his voice, and he said that during the holiday season, his house got broken into here in Long Beach. And, very dramatic situation. And Mayor, when you come forward, you and your grandma, and well, let's talk about it because you know we never want this to happen, but it did happen, and it did happen here in Long Beach. And Mayor, I know you're still troubled by this, but what happened that night here in Long Beach?
Well, I'm going to give it to my grandmother because she was the person that actually came face to face with the intruder into our home. I'm going to give it to my grandmother. E.M. double Esther Minch, right here.
Thank you. Saturday early in the morning, I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which I was supposed to go to work. But then I fell asleep for some reason. I don't even know how. I fell in a deep sleep, and next thing I know, like 7:15, something noisy next to my bed. I thought it's my owl coming to bother me. I opened my eyes. The room was very dark. Usually I keep the bedroom open. The door is opening so I can watch in my owl. It was very dark. I didn't wear glasses, and next thing I see a tall guy standing next to me, and he just says to me, "I don't know what I'm doing here. I slept in your couch. I was in your home. I don't have my shoes. I don't have my jacket." First thing what he says, okay, my life is in his hand right now, so let's control the problem. I says to him, where you came from? He says, I don't know. I said, okay, you know what, let's go downstairs, we can talk about very carefully. I didn't want to wake up Maor and his mother. And we start slowly. I noticed the door is closed and a pile of clothes against my door. So I was all alone with him in the room. We walk in the hallway, and he asked me, there's a man in the house. I said, oh yeah, next door is my husband, Howie. He's good. He came home drunk, and I closed it, throw him out of the room. He'd be very, very mad if I wake him up. Let's go downstairs. Slowly, I go downstairs with him, facing him all the time, which I'm leaning to the wall. And I asked him, where you came from? What are you doing here? Who are you? I don't know. I says to him, okay, I give you a cup of coffee and we'll talk about it. He says to me, okay. I says, I call the police. Let's call the police so he can take you home. He says, no police. He grabbed my telephone. At that minute, I just hoped to miracle. I look at my door, and the door was closed. It seems like my door was locked. I opened the door, and I looked out. There's a lady outside with a dog. Our dog ran to the door against to the other lady with the dog. And I said to her, help, help, help. The woman didn't know what to do, and finally I showed that with a talking with a closed lip kind, just whispering, police, call police, call police. She did. Four car police came to the house. Bunch of guys says to me, I said, that's the guy, just take him out. All this time, I don't even know where I got my courage. I don't know where I get, how I managed to do it. I tell them, take the guy out. They ask me, do you want to arrest him? The question is, they were supposed to arrest him, not ask me. I said, no, just get him out of the house. Later on, as they walked out, Maor and I go into my bedroom and just try to see what happened. And Maor lay down in bed and I just played the intruder. I saw a big knife, a butcher knife, on my table. I looked down and I realized that if I open my mouth, that butcher knife will be in my throat. We called the police, and the police says he came back, and I show him everything again, and he says we can arrest him because you didn't told us to arrest him. This is a really non-fair from the police of Long Beach, because if a tourist come into home and a woman by herself with two other people, they should arrest him right away and not ask me.
Steve Vicari, psychologist, I'm amazed how calm and the way she handled the situation. From a psychological point of view, how do you think Mrs. Minch handled the situation?
I was very impressed by Mrs. Minch's courage. She alluded to that courage over several times during recalling the incident. I think there's an aspect of fight or flight, in situations like this where a crisis situation is happening, and Mrs. Minch obviously took a paradoxical approach. She kind of empowered this intruder to feel comforted so that she could retain the courage that she had to protect her family. So he felt she didn't escalate the situation by yelling or screaming or running. She kind of embraced the situation, had the courage
Yeah, you
to
saw that?
work through it.
I was hoping
And
nobody
I think
saw
that's what
it.
everybody was left to be safe,
Yeah, it's awesome.
and she protected her family.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Next to me, I have Jay Feminist. She's a New York City police officer for 21 years, and I was just wondering what you thought of your experience working in this kind of situation.
Well, I give a lot of credit to her because she did the most important thing. To us in the police department, safety is always the most important thing, that you go home and that nothing happens to you and your family, which is why I suspect the officers did not, place him under arrest. Maybe he was looking for food, maybe he was intoxicated. We can't really judge what the officers did at the time. You understand? Thanks to you and how you handled the situation, nothing happened. You did the right thing.
Mayor, real quick.
I have a message to everybody in Long Beach, especially in the Long Island area. Please lock your doors at night. It's a good thing. We learned our lesson. If our doors were open, please keep your doors locked. That will keep your family safe. And especially here in the Long Beach area, it happens a lot here. Thank you very much.
All right, that is going to be the wrap of the night. Let's give a round of applause for the Minches, very courageous in averting a real tragedy. And now let's have a round of applause for the true Long Beach legends, Bob Carroll, Jimmy May! Thanks to Walter Cersei, Justin Shawshan, Kim, great show, Steve Carroll, Mayor Minch, Grandma Minch, and let me wrap with this. My name is Halftime. I want to thank you for your time. Please join us next Tuesday for another edition of Halftime. But at this time, we are out of time. See you next Tuesday!